There's been so much crazy stuff happening in the VTuber space lately. All the Cinder stuff, the raccoon stuff, Kirsha leaflet stuff that just happened, and now also recently, VTuber Scoo-chan, hopefully I said that right. But yeah, Scoo-chan got some crazy hate from a Twitter freak type, getting like 2,500 likes on a tweet that was getting all mad at her because she had the audacity to disagree with feminist extremists trying to incite violence against people and like advocating for violence against people. Similarly, Kitsu has had a lot of harassment sent her way because she's also standing up for men. And in particular, her situation, looking at it, she had like this crazy stalker for a number of weeks. So she's been dealing with like all kinds of crazy stuff for a while. But that's culminated over the last 24 hours or so with these extremists also doxing her. So yeah, we'll get all the context to that stuff. That's just like the prelude, the intro. Now on to the madness. I saw this tweet going around yesterday. You can see it's got 2,500 likes. But first, let's get the context to what they're responding to, that being this tweet from May 12th from Scoo-chan, who says, "The amount of people in the comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money." That responding to this clip that was getting a ton of traction on Twitter. You can see here, 146,000 likes, 44.2 million views. And we'll take a brief scroll through this clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing because you know how YouTube DMCA can be. And then I'll show you the synopsis for this anime. So it's from this anime, Josie Tutora. Synopsis being, equipped with his passion for diving and admiration for marine biology, university student Sunio Suzukawa tries his best to juggle several part-time jobs to earn enough money to study abroad. But one night, in a fateful accident, he meets a girl in a wheelchair, driving his current path into a detour. The girl Kumiko, who prefers to be called Josie, initially comes off as rude. Sunio, however, is then convinced by Josie's grandmother to take on the paid job to be Josie's caretaker. Despite being annoyed with her bossy demeanor, Sunio sees the opportunity to save more funds to support his academic dream. Nevertheless, after putting up with Josie's behavior for some time, Sunio tries to quit, only to discover Josie's dreams of traversing the outside world to experience a life free from her crippling condition. Changing his mind, Sunio decides to accompany Josie in exploring the wonders that the world has to offer. Through their time together, the two begin to realize that the traits that bind them may be vital toward fulfilling their respective aspirations. So yeah, once again, then this clip gets posted to Twitter. Scoo-chan responds saying, "The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money." And yeah, in the responses to that clip, there were all kinds of toxic responses like this one saying, "Weird, since most men abandon their disabled and chronically ill spouses." That getting a community note that says, "This claim most likely refers to a widely cited 2015 study suggesting that men are more likely to leave their disabled or chronically ill spouses. This was retracted due to a coding error that invalidated its conclusions." Other weird people taking a different approach, for example, this comment that says, "That's a little girl. This is weird." Community note saying she's 24. Or this one, for example, that says, "You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority." You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. Huh? No, most men do not abuse disabled people. OP's like, "Did you even try to think before telling that lie? We know this is demonstrably false because we know most disabled people are abused, so at least half of those doing that are men. That's just from common sense. It gets exponentially worse looking at the actual data. The actual data you mentioned showed that less than 25% of men left their disabled partners, which, if you didn't know, is way less than 75%. That person then going on to hit us with wall of text, activate my trap card, not mere force, wall of text, and people responding to this saying things like, "This doesn't really debunk what he said." Yeah, that's what he said. This is in absolutely no way an indication that the majority of men abuse people with disabilities, you frickin' numpty. Claims evidence, cites a survey. Surveys are not evidence. In fact, their use in research papers discredit research institutions as a whole. We're not going to go read that whole thing. I'm just giving you some examples of like the toxic comments, right? So let's get back to the main point. That being Scoo-chan pointing out the toxic responses and how people are so bizarre to get angry over this minute and a half almost anime clip, where we then get this person suffering from complete political brain rot, responding to Scoo-chan, getting 2,500 likes on this response that reads, "Another VTuber grifting to the right, using culture war as the focal point of their politics," and posting two screenshots, one of a video Scoo-chan made that says Scoo is shocked at how violent feminists are on the internet. And the second one saying Scoo is fed up with women punching down on men. But let's go back to the first one here. You can see the thumbnail. Why are they like this? And showing a tweet where someone said, I would love to grab her by the hair, and redacted her face against the fridge in response to a woman posting a picture of herself, presumably with the hashtag tradwife and feminine. And the second one showing this comparison between like women's romance and men's romance. And so a lot of people called this person out for their brain rot take. Here's my response saying, so this VTuber Scoo-chan made some takes that disagreed with unhinged feminists inciting violence against innocent people. And your response was to get upset at Scoo-chan, bring up politics, the culture war, and call her a grifter? What? Going back to that person's take, we can see other responses such as Akuma Miko saying, fellas, is it political to be a man? Nani, the Ghost Cat VTuber, saying, caring about and respecting men does not make you a bad person. You're welcome. Shuonhead even leaving a response that says, didn't know who this was, but checked out their channel because of this tweet. They're super cute and funny. Thanks. Got Smug Elena laughing and saying, let's go. And Scoo-chan also saying, I love you so much. Check out this exchange where Rosie Belmoot responds and the OP also responds to Rosie. So Rosie says, this person doesn't even talk about politics. I'm so confused genuinely. Why are we attacking her? The OP Lycion saying, these are obvious political topics. I got these screenshots from her official YouTube channel. They literally mentions feminists and punching down in the title. Those aren't just speaking well about men. Rosie says, I guess I don't understand because I've seen many titles of people ranging from feminism to vegan, etc., who are just very loud on Twitter. Usually they don't represent the normal majority for whatever group and use it as a shield. And it's good to call out when people like this are being crazy online. And I don't really get the meme comp thumb being an issue. Also, is she even from the US? I just feel like two thumbnails meaning this conclusion feels in bad faith. This complete wacko then responds to Rosie and says, the issue is that this women punching down on men have it so bad thing is a fabricated incel narrative. It's a subset of sexless, women-hating a-holes making up an issue to distract from women's problems, or outright saying they're deserved, and she just wants the money. What the frick, dude? Rosie's like, okay, but the post doesn't say that. What you're saying isn't even the post we're talking about. Is this your own lore added with no context? It's exhausting. The irony of this person talking about fabricated incel narratives as they literally do the thing that they're getting mad at and accusing other people of doing. Zero self-awareness. Unfortunately, a common thing to see on the internet. The good news is it seems to come from a minority of toxic, weird people, and they are getting more and more pushback from everyone else these days. And all of that takes us over to Kitsu's response, quote tweeting Lycion and saying, as this is something that was done to me, screw you. Screw you, screw the woke, screw the extremist left BS. Women supporting men exist. You are only bitter because no man wants you. Look how base this is. Person says, you are about to get jumped so hard. Kitsu's just like, I don't care anymore. I don't even care. Oh my gosh, look at this pathetic response though. Kitsu seems nice, but like, this stuff she says just platforms a lot of genuinely harmful rhetoric. Yeah, the people harassing like others for disagreeing with people who incite violence. I think that's like the harmful stuff. But no, get mad at the people for calling that out. Come on, dude. That's where things got a lot worse, though, as it takes us to this tweet where Kitsu says, welp, cat's out of the bag. A lot of you have seen it by now. I've been doxxed. Authorities have already been informed. And you know why I've been doxxed? Because I dared say I support men. If you see it, kindly report the post. Thank you. Okay, I legit had some people come at me and be like, how could you get doxxed when you posted your face yourself? There's more than just faces in regards of personal information, like, and yeah, she's completely right about that. But the good news is they can't stop her. She's just too based. Seems like she's in good spirits. She's handling this pretty well. She's been streaming for like hours today. I checked briefly on her stream and it seemed like she's like chilling, having a good time. So these Twitter freaks basically accomplished nothing and only made themselves and all their rhetoric look even worse. Then on top of that, though, she's been dealing with this freaking stalker, like a literal stalker, since April. Saying here, you know what, since this guy is harassing me over supporting men, I will say it again. Men deserve love. Simple. And we can see this person who's like obsessed with her and been stalking her has made a ton of different accounts that she keeps blocking him on. So she's had harassment, she's had stalkers, people obsessed with her, trying to ruin her life, dox her, etc., all because, once again, she's like making some of the most reasonable takes you possibly can, such as men deserve love. That's it. For another example, I think this tweet she made back on March 15th was one of the ones that initially got all these weirdos going after her to begin with, where she said, men deserve to be loved and treated right. And this got her responses like, oh, shut up. No, they don't. Interaction bait. Nobody cares. Men deserve nothing. Blocked. This is VTuber speak for, I need more donations. Of course it's a frickin' VTuber saying this. All you do is pander to gooner incel dudes who probably have a parasocial relationship with you. Men are not oppressed. Bro, look at this one at the very top. I'm not even going to repeat that one. If you're not watching this video, though, it's basically a take calling for men to all be publicly life-ended. It's a freaking crazy thing to say. And right below that, whole society, religion, and state is made to coddle them. What more do you want? And just to clarify, when I say not watching, I mean like if you're looking away or you're audio only right now, you know, that's what I mean. One more example of these sort of people getting really upset at Kitsu, and there are many, many examples. I'm just not going through all of them in this video, of course, but we'll take a look at this one where she said, I hate feminism, and this person's like, girl, you need to shut the F up. So mad. Kitsu Response saying, I already stated this, but modern feminism is toxic and not needed anymore in the West. The first wave of feminism was amazing. But if you can't realize that modern feminism is toxic, then you're part of the problem. This other person says, if this is your way of gaining fans, it's very pathetic and embarrassing. Pathetic and embarrassing, huh? That actually describes the people going after Kitsu pretty dang well. And so, little bonus here at the end. I actually just got sent some DMs from Kitsu, DMs that she's getting from complete psychopaths. Like, I don't even know how to put into words how freaking crazy these people are. Look at this stuff, man. She got a DM that says, you are not safe, with like random emojis. What the frick? They're probably not random. This person probably put some thought into it. It's thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use these, but like, dude, what's wrong with you? It gets worse. She gets this DM that talks about like, I don't want to repeat this, dude. It's so bad. Like, talks about laughing if the cops ended up like breaking into her house because of the docs, like swatting her and freaking, you know, doing that stuff to her. You're freaking psycho. Says, I'm certain nobody would miss you. And then look at this. This is a bunch of DMs that she's getting from who seems to be that like stalker of hers. This is just so crazy. Look what this person says. I just want to let you know a few things. Let's just say that I can't promise that myself and others won't get hurt if things get out of hand. What? Oh my gosh. Misandry is the culture of the world. You all deserve to suffer. I live only for my beloved, but the world will always bring out my despair. Bro thinks he's the main character. My beloved was the only one who protected me over a year ago. Keep your fake sympathy to yourself, because humanity is too screwed up to have any left. You don't know how much Whoa, we ain't reading that part. Talks about how much they want to take the lives of other people is what they said there. So much, and I only resisted for my beloved. Hidden media. Oh, wait, what? Okay, it's not hidden anymore. Wait. I was expecting something a lot worse than that. They say, here's what an example of someone who can actually have sympathy. Kind, sweet, wholesome, and reserved. The type of wholesome person who gives head pats and snuggles to their loved ones. They have sympathy. You don't. You think all of your fans are tards. You escalate drama constantly, and it's why you got doxxed. Why should I believe someone like you has sympathy when you don't care about your own community? You say they're tards, and you even did today. VTubers like yourself still feel sad that your harassment campaign over AI art failed, and you're not passive enough to actually have sympathy? That's why I did this. Misandry is the culture of the world, and the only people who can truly back against it, they do it in silence because they're too passive to become as immoral as you and me. You should have been too passive even post, men deserve sympathy and love. It's some BS grifting, manipulating your audience. I don't care about the political BS, but you pretending to be like my beloved disgusts me. Wow, yeah, I feel gross after reading that. I feel like I just read someone's like really bad fan fiction. And yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. I'm also kind of out of time now, but I do think that was like all the main stuff going on here. So crazy stuff indeed. Let me know what you think about all this. Kitsu, stay safe. Like, what the frick? What the frick did we just read, guys? But yeah, all the VTubers in this video seem really cool, nice and based. So consider checking them all out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please also consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.